Hey everyone, and welcome back to Young Transporter's YouTube page. I am so excited to be back. I know it's been so long since I did a video. My husband did a video. We did a video together. Y'all, we have been busy. So life has been busy. So we just wanted to get back on. Welcome into 2023. I know it's already in March. But I wanted to come on here and do an update video for all of my box truck drivers that are looking to get into this box truck business in 2023, and just to kind of give you an update and give you just some basic information on what the market is doing right now, the changes that I've seen going on, and what you'll need to go ahead and get your box truck business up and off the ground. So if you don't know already, I have a dispatch business. Me and my husband have had a trucking business for a couple years now, and I actually specialize in dispatching 26-foot box trucks. We have helped a lot of different box truck businesses and companies get off the ground, start their box truck business, as well as helping them find loads. I have great relationships with brokers and shippers that run a lot of box truck freight, and it's just a little niche that I came across of doing, and I've just over the years have just built my relationships up, and I just have a passion to help box trucks succeed in this business. As well as I do dispatch other semi trucks as well. But this video is especially for 26-foot box trucks that are looking to be over the road, and just some basic information that you're going to need to get your business up and off the ground. To start off, if you are a brand new authority, I would say your first 3 months in the box truck business, you have to plan for it. I hope that you had a savings, that you put money away for maintenance, repairs on the truck, fuel. I mean, as you know, fuel prices have been higher than ever. We saw that at the beginning of 2021, 2022. 2022 was really a tough year in freight because fuel went up, freight went down. The rate per miles went down on every single truck. I don't care what truck you were driving, rate per mile was down. People were really struggling in the freight business. We've seen a lot of trucking businesses go out of business because of this in 2022. So you definitely, getting into the freight business, getting into the trucking business, you definitely need to plan and have money saved aside for the next couple months, especially as a new authority. A new authority basically means that you're not going to have a lot of brokers that are going to work with you, especially now. And I'll tell you from my experience, I have seen more and more brokers, basically brokers that used to be able to take carriers after 30 days of their authority, or brand new carriers, once they got their authority, be able to run with them. I'm seeing them actually raise that bar now to where they are wanting 90 days. They're wanting 6 months now. So I've been seeing that across brokers that I used to be able to work with brand new authorities. I can't work with anymore because now they want 6 months of authority. So it has got very little slim pickings, I would say, as a new authority coming in. And as you know, with the box truck, it's already pretty difficult. The good thing that I have been seeing for my box trucks is the average rate per a mile has definitely been more. I've been getting my trucks on an average of $2 or more a mile. I mean, give or take, I would say the average has been about $1.80, $1.90 a mile that I've been seeing. I know my previous video that I did a year ago or 2 years ago, I'm not sure, it was a box truck basics video. At that time, the average rate for a box truck was $1.50 a mile. And that's just what we were seeing. I'm definitely seeing higher rates in that. So that's a good thing. Like I said, with my box trucks, we're always trying to shoot at least, $2 or more a mile. But to be completely honest with you, the average I'm seeing is about $1.80, $1.90 a mile. Somewhere in between there is about the average, depending upon what area you are. And as a box truck, I hope that you get with a dispatcher that knows the good areas to float box trucks, because that's going to be very important in running box trucks, because that rate that I'm giving you is not going to be the same depending upon what state you're in. I'm talking about states that do very well, that have very good box truck freight. And I'll give you an example: Illinois, Indiana. I've even seen some really good rates out of North Carolina and South Carolina. I know that's crazy because that's not where we would honestly send a lot of our trucks a year ago, but I definitely have been seeing some better rates in those areas as well. And I've seen Georgia go down. So just to give you an example, Georgia used to be great, for freight. I have seen that rate per mile go down in Georgia recently. So just get with a good dispatcher that knows that knows where to float that truck and what areas that truck needs to be in, to maximize the most out of that truck. I would also suggest, if you're a box truck that's getting into the box truck business, definitely looking to be maybe over the road for the first 3 months, the first 90 days of your authority. You basically, the first 90 days of your authority, you need to build that authority up. You need to build it to where it's in good standing. Brokers can see that you deliver loads on time, you pick up loads on time, and you need to build that also to establish relationships with these brokers and shippers that you're running freight from. Who knows, you might be able to land something dedicated, something consistent. With box truck, it's a little bit different in that, because it's a lot of LTL. And if you don't know what LTL is, you can look it up. It's less than truckload of a 53-foot truck. Box trucks take on a lot of LTL freight. So even knowing what areas that have a lot of LTL freight, which means FedEx, UPS, people like that would need to break down freight to put in a smaller truck, that's where you want your box truck to be, if that helps any of you guys coming into this box truck business. But you definitely want to probably look to being over the road. It's very, you need to build, if you're looking to stay local, and I see that all the time. I get people that come to me and want them dispatched, but they want to stay local. Local is very hard for a box truck. You have to have those relationships established, or you have to be realistic about the amount of money that you want to make per day or per week. Staying local, I mean, you're not going to make that $1,000 to $2,000 a day, that a lot of these box truck people are coming in and asking me for. Staying local, I mean, the miles that you're doing, I mean, just put the miles that you're doing, and to me, that's common sense on to exactly how much are you really going to make per day. So unless you have, and I won't say that I'm not saying that across the board, unless you have relationships with certain brokers and shippers that you've already negotiated a certain rate with them, because there are some box trucks that are making that locally, and that is because of relationships that they have established. But that is not going off of a brand new authority that's looking to book loads off the load board, or even loads that brokers are sending to us. Loads that brokers are sending to me that are running local runs, they're not paying $1,000 a day. So I'll just kind of like get that out there. They're basing it based upon the rate per mile, and like I said, what the average that I've been seeing is about $1.80, $1.90 a mile, and that's what brokers are really basing that rate on. So coming into 2023, it's not too much to ask for $2 a mile with a 26-foot box truck at all. So being a new authority coming in with the box truck, not only is your authority new, but also if you have a factoring company, you'll know that a lot of factoring companies, depending on what factory company you're with, you can't factor with a lot of different brokers. So that cuts the loads honestly in half. Especially if your dispatcher is dispatching off the load board, that cuts the loads in half of the loads that you can take. Because I have been seeing, actually over the course of a year, tons of new brokerages pop up. And a lot of the factoring companies that my dispatchers, we currently use a factoring company. A lot of them can't even factor some of those loads. Because they're a brand new brokerage. They don't have the credit yet. They haven't established, how successful or how profitable their business is. So you can definitely take that chance to do quick pay and things like that. But like I always tell my carriers, you're taking a risk with doing that as well, because you're basically relying on this brokerage to do the right thing. And as a lot of people know, or as people that are very seasoned in the business, it's hard to get brokers to do the right thing. Not all brokers. I work with some great brokers. Actually, I'll give a shout out to Suntech TTS, Ariel. She is great. We do great power only loads together that she gives some of my drivers. I will shout out to Nathan with Blue Grace Logistics. He's been great and running some of my reefer freight, and sending me reefer freight to keep my trucks running. So not all brokers are bad brokers, and I just want to say that. As you know, my background, I was a broker prior to me starting my dispatch business, and I see the good and the bad. I worked with people that didn't treat carriers right, didn't give carriers really what they deserve, you know, in freight. And I worked with brokers that were on my team that we did the right thing. I think because my husband was a carrier, so I understood coming from that perspective. No, these carriers, y'all put so much time, so much effort into your work. You're away from your families, that we did the right thing as brokers. So not all brokers are bad. You just have to kind of go through, and when you find a good broker that has good rates, that treats you right, that y'all have great communication with each other, try to hold on to them. Because that is going to be honestly your bread and your butter. And I've seen it time and time again. Build those relationships with them. So for a 26-foot box truck, like I said, that'll cut down the loads on as far as factoring, as far as being a new authority. Another thing that you want to kind of put into consideration is hotels and fuel, you know, and repairs. Being over the road, you're going to experience that. And that's why I said your savings is really critical in these first couple months, and even honestly in your first year of trucking. And then you'll learn as you get seasoned in trucking, taking out money to put in towards a maintenance account for the truck, for repairs, is going to be even more critical, because when you learn and as you expand and start getting more trucks, you'll learn things happen. And you need to have some type of backup cushion, some type of backup money to put into play. Because, I mean, if your truck is down and it's costing $5,000 to get fixed, or $4,000, and your truck is down for 2 or 3 weeks and you're not making that money, you know, that money has to come from somewhere. So just keep in mind with that. A lot of people want to like throw out a number of how much you would need. And yeah, they are throwing out, and actually I think we even have a video on that of what that cost is going to be. But I know a lot of people came back and was like, my authority only costs $300 and something. And I was like, yeah, to get your authority it does, but you're not looking at your down payment of your insurance. And in order for your authority to even go active, you have to have insurance on your truck, and that has to be. And I say that because I have people that come to me and all the time for consulting, and we start breaking it down, and they don't realize how expensive it is to really get into this business. Besides it being a box truck or anything, just getting your authority, how expensive it is. Because the insurance alone, sometimes that down payment can be $3,000 or $4,000 or $7,000. Ours was $7,000 when we first got into this business, for our down payment for our insurance. So it's just very expensive, and you want to factor in everything, and you want to save. Also with the 26-foot box truck, I would suggest that it would be dock high. And I just say that because I'm giving you things after doing this now for a couple years of dispatching box trucks. I'm not coming at you saying this, dispatching a box truck for a couple months. I'm not saying it even coming after a year. I've been doing years in dispatching box trucks now. So I will tell you what I see across the board as to make your truck the most profitable. And what that is a 26-foot dock high box truck with a lift gate and a pallet jack, and you have straps and you're ready to roll. That is kind of the norm of what I see as far as the loads that pay decent and the loads that pay good, and as far as keeping your truck running. And I just wanted to put that on here because that is a number one question that I get all the time when we get calls and emails of people asking us, what type of truck would you say, what type of truck would you say that would works for that? To be good and be profitable and keep my truck running. And that is honestly what I kind of see across the board, is when a broker is needing a load to be moved. For the most part, it's going to be they need a lift gate. You will see those loads from time to time that say no lift gate. It's very rare that happens. But at the end of the day, I understand you have to start off with what you can afford, make it work for what you can afford. This video was just basically to come on here and give you an idea of what exactly a 26-foot box truck, of the basics of getting started, what that looks like, what the rate per mile is looking like in 2023, and just kind of what I'm seeing as far as the box truck business. The box truck business can be very, very profitable. You just have to make sure that the truck is running right. And that brings me to my last thing before I wrap up this video, is you got to make sure that either you or whatever driver you put in there is going to run that truck right, at least for the first 90 days to 6 months. Like I said, you're trying to establish your authority with these brokers, which means that once your authority is established, I'm telling you, you will see how easy it is to negotiate higher rates, and you will see how easy it is just to get loads. I actually reject carriers that don't have a good standing in their authority, and that is because I'm going to be working I'm going to be working all day trying to find them a load because of the fact that their authority is not in good standing, and none of the brokers want to work with them. And I mean by not picking up loads on time, canceling loads because they found a better load, and they start canceling loads, and so they have a high fallout percentage of the loads that they book to loads that they cancel. All of that matters. Safety, all of that. You think that doesn't matter? I'm telling you, coming from a broker, and I was a freight broker, coming from that perspective, that matters. We see that carriers, brokers have a site that they go to, which is called Carriers 411, and also and depending upon the brokers, they have internal systems that show them information on how well this carrier performs, their safety and everything. So all of that matters. So you want your authority in good standing, and if you're going to take a load, run the load. I understand things happen, truck repairs happen, truck fallouts happen because a truck broke down. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about carriers that take loads, and they might cancel 3 or 4 loads every week, and I say that because there are carriers that do that because they may have found a better load, or they decide, oh, what, I just don't want to run today. If you're not trying to hustle, if you're not trying to grind, this is not the business for you, because it's going to take a lot of work your first year to just kind of get in the groove of and understand the freight business and really try to make this profitable. So like I said, I would have that truck over the road, and how I run my trucks is the drivers are picking a load up in the morning, and Monday through Thursday, I'll say this very clear, Monday through Thursday, they're delivering the next day. So I am looking for runs that are going to be running about 500 to 600 miles, because obviously that's what a box truck can do. Some of my box trucks can do a little more than that, but that is going to make them about 1,000 or more a day. And the goal is every week is to make 5,000 or more. That's the goal. Our minimum is trying to make at least 5,000. That truck a week, that means that truck pretty much has to be over the road, and we're turning loads every day like that. They pick up a load, they deliver the next day in the morning or early afternoon. That way it allows time for them to pick up another load, and we're repeating that cycle every day till we get about Friday. We pick up a load. Most loads don't deliver over the weekend, so most loads that we pick up on Friday, we're doing longer runs on the weekends, and we're delivering those on Monday. So those are when you can do more of your 800,000 mile runs, or even more than that over the weekend, because you have those 2 days, and most of the time the load is not going to deliver anyways until Monday. So that's kind of how you want to structure your week out, because that is going to make it the most profitable, and that's what you're trying to look for. What is going to make my week the most profitable? Granted, it always doesn't do that every week. This is freight. So as you know, freight is all over the place. There's so many different things, so many factors of things that can happen, but that's kind of what that week looks like. I'm talking about for a 26-foot box truck. And like I said, the goal is we're trying to make about minimum 5,000 or more. And this is a truck that's over the road. I'm not talking about a local truck. 5,000 or more a week. And those numbers are definitely doable if you have a person that is trying to be over the road for at least the 2 weeks. I would say 2 weeks. Being over the road is not being over the road a week, because that means that your dispatcher has to route you back, which means that might cut into better loads that you're getting, depending upon where you're having to go back. So, or be home for the weekend. I hope this helps. Please comment and let me know what more videos you would like for me to do. I'm going to be really focusing this year more on my box truck business. If you are looking for a dispatcher for box trucks, please email us. I'll put the email in the thing, or email us at youngtransporterslogistics@gmail.com. Or you can go to our website, and it has another email, and somebody will get in contact to you. We are taking new carriers this year for 26-foot box trucks. And for semis as well. So just let us know how we can help, and let me know what videos can help you as far as making your business successful, or any questions you have. Well, I appreciate everybody that always watches our videos, and the support that we've had. We appreciate it over the years, and we hope that we can continue to help you grow your business and just inform you the best way we can about being completely honest about what is going on in this freight business. So I will see everyone on the next video.